coach necessarily has to be from the region, but if they're not, what staff are they putting together that makes sure they can go out and recruit and stay active and engaged in our area? I want the best players in Arizona to want to come to Arizona. So maybe having a connection there somehow is a good thing. And so there's a lot of different things, and not any one person fits all those things. So you need to go out and find what is the best fit with the pool of candidates that you have to work with.
Is this now your top priority department-wide?
I thought we might pay some attention to it.
Thank you.
Rick, this was a football program that a year ago was top 25. It's been to 3 straight bowl games. Is it safe to say that the obstacles that you found when you evaluated this were longer term than they were short term? There's injuries, schedule. I mean,
Sure.
Pretty dramatic fall from a year ago.
Well, the last 11 games have been a rough road. There's no doubt about that, and against very good competition. And so we've had injuries. There's no doubt about all those things. They've all been factors, and that's when I said we looked at collectively a lot of different things. That was part of it. And we very much have tried to support Coach Stoops and show. I don't think you've ever heard me say publicly anything negative about it, and I don't think you do that to your head coaches. So it's something that we looked. I saw there were many positives that he had done, and at the same time too, this season had gotten to the point where I was very concerned about our long-term impact of our program and where we were going.
You said you made the decision within the last week. Was your mind more or less made up prior to Oregon State, or was that kind of the final straw?
It would, again, all collectively put together, and in the last week was the time frame where I just really thought, okay, I'm concerned about the rest of the season, and I'm concerned about where we're going in the future.
Greg, how important is it, the concept in sports, that every leader has to have his own people, and in this respect, you need your own guy?
I think you do everything you can to work with the people that you inherit when you come someplace. I chose to come to the University of Arizona, and I was lucky to get chosen to do that. But I know these people, and a lot of them are standing in the back of the room. They bust their tail every single day. I think it's key when you come in the athletic director's role to give the people that you're working with the chance. And I'm really glad I did, because we've got a lot of great people. And so I don't think that's as important as what sometimes people say out there. It's nice to have a person, a familiar face or two when you come in, but it's not critical.
When this last happened, the then athletic director, Jim Livengood, mandated that all scholarships already offered to student athletes were honored. Do you share that philosophy, or do you let the new coach kind of make his own decisions?
Well, that's my preference, yes, and I think that's where we're headed. And I will. I've already been in Bill Morgan's, our compliance director's office, and I've already found out how I can contact the recruits legally, what we can do, and I will be involved in the recruiting process until we name our new head coach.
Greg, was Mike supposed to be on the road today recruiting?
He was.
He was. Was he here, or?
He was here.
He was here. So you had asked him to not take that trip?
No. He was on the road and he came back.
Really?
Yeah.
And when did you ask him to come back?
Just late morning, I think, something like that.
Oh wow. Okay, so he came back today.
Yeah.
Are any of the assistants on multi-year contracts?
No. They all have contracts till the end of June.
Is there a
JP, that's right, yeah.
Is there a salary range for the next coach?
We're thinking about paying at least $25,000. We need to be competitive. That's critical. And it's the marketplace. Whether you like it or not, you got to be competitive.
Does this allow you, by making the decision now, more time to raise that money?
You know, I'm not a big believer in raising dollars for coaches' salaries. I'm a big believer in raising dollars for capital improvements that will have a many year impact on the program. And so we're not out actively engaged in it for that matter. So I think sometimes people kind of assume that's how all these things happen, and I'm not sure if that assumption is always correct.
What's the ideal timeline for you to have this search concluded?
Well, we want to make sure we have somebody by next football season. So ideal timeline, I think, shortly, a couple of weeks after the regular season's over. At that point, you see transition take place during that couple week period on a normal basis.
if Coach Kish can get this team to a bowl game, 500 record, whatever, would he be considered long-term?
Well, we're gonna be wide open to any candidates, but Coach Kish is aware that he's the interim coach.
What is the protocol, if you wanted to contact, say, another head coach or another assistant coach, how do you do that during the season? What's the proper way to do that?
Well, when you're ready to talk to another coach, you contact the athletic